I'll never forget the night I babysat for the Smiths. It was a typical Friday evening, and I had agreed to watch their two kids, Timmy and Emily, while they went out to dinner. As soon as they left, I felt a sense of relief wash over me. I loved kids, but I also loved the idea of having the house to myself for a few hours. I settled in on the couch with my phone and began to scroll through social media. The kids were playing quietly in the next room, and I could hear the occasional giggle or shout. As the night wore on, I started to feel a creeping sense of unease. At first, I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. The house was creaky, and the wind outside was picking up, causing the trees to scratch against the windows. But as the minutes ticked by, I began to feel like I was being watched. I tried to shake off the feeling, telling myself I was just being paranoid. But as I looked around the room, I couldn't shake the sense that something was off. I got up to check on the kids, and as I entered the playroom, I saw that they were both sitting quietly, staring at something on the floor. I followed their gaze, and my heart skipped a beat as I saw a small, antique music box sitting on the carpet. It was beautiful, with intricate carvings and a delicate ballerina twirling to the tune of a haunting melody. But what caught my attention was the fact that it was playing, even though I was certain it hadn't been playing when I came into the room. I felt a chill run down my spine as I realized that I had no idea where the music box had come from. I tried to ask the kids, but they just looked at me with blank expressions, their eyes seeming to bore into my soul. As the music box continued to play, I started to feel a sense of dread building inside me. I tried to turn it off, but it wouldn't stop. The melody was getting louder, more intense, and I could feel my heart racing in my chest suddenly. The lights in the room began to flicker, and I heard a low, whispery voice seeming to come from all around me. It was soft at first, but it grew louder, more urgent, and I could make out the words, "Get out while you still can." I was frozen in terror, unsure of what to do. The kids were still staring at the music box, their eyes fixed on it with an unnerving intensity. As the voice grew louder, I knew I had to act. I grabbed the kids and made a run for the door. But as I reached for the handle, I felt a cold, bony hand grasp my wrist. I spun around, but there was no one there. The music box had stopped playing, and the room was silent once again. The kids were still staring at the floor, their eyes glazed over. And then, I saw it, a figure, tall and gaunt, standing just behind them. Its eyes were black as coal, and they seemed to be sucking all the light out of the room. I tried to scream, but my voice was frozen in my throat. The figure began to move towards me, its presence filling the room with an unspeakable horror. I was paralyzed with fear, unable to move or speak. And then, everything went black. When I came to, I was lying on the floor, my head throbbing with pain. The kids were sitting next to me, looking at me with concern. The music box was silent, and the room was still. But as I looked around, I saw that the house was different. The furniture was rearranged, and the windows were open, letting in a chill wind. And on the wall, in letters that seemed to be written in blood, was a message: "You should have listened."